Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about climate. The press is in full panic mode trying to get people panicked about the climate. Their latest ploy is warm weather in the eastern United States. Let's travel back in time to this date in 1932. Temperatures ranged from 90 degrees in Texas all the way up to 70 degrees in New York City. There were 60-degree temperatures well up into Maine. On January 14, 1932, the New York Times reported the warmest January day on record. And then a day later, on January 15, 1932, the New York Times reported that it was even warmer. The 1932 Winter Olympics were held at Lake Placid, New York, and as of January 16, 1932, there was no snow on the ground. It had all melted away. People were very concerned in 1932 that Lake Placid was not going to be able to hold the Winter Olympics because of a lack of snow, and California was trying to get the games moved to the West Coast. Eventually they did get a little bit of snow at Lake Placid, but a lot of the events had to be postponed because of the 50-degree weather and a lack of snow. Brooklyn Daily Eagle, February 12, 1932. Olympics postponed by warm weather. They had workmen carrying snow to the ski jump, but it was melting almost as fast as they could put it on the ground. Fast forward to 1960, and the Winter Olympics at Squaw Valley, California also almost had to be canceled because of a lack of snow. The rain turned to snow right at the last minute in February 1960 and saved the Olympic Games. And the exact opposite of 1932, the New England states were bidding to take the Olympics away from California. Climate alarmists have tried to rewrite this history just like they do about everything else. This article from 2006 about Katharine Hayhoe tried to rewrite the history of the 1960 Winter Olympics. 46 years ago this month, the world's athletes frolicked in the snow at the 1960 Winter Olympics in Squaw Valley, California. That would be the same 1960 Squaw Valley Winter Olympics, which almost had to be canceled because a few hours before the game started, there was no snow on the ground. The article went on, 46 years from now, climate experts say it's doubtful that Northern California's mountains will be able to stage another Winter Games. Squaw Valley has had their three snowiest winters on record in the last 10 years, in 2011, 2017, and 2019. Last year they were skiing until July 7th. But Katharine Hayhoe says, by 2060 or so, if we don't change our ways, holding another Winter Olympics in Squaw Valley would be very difficult. As is often the case, Katharine Hayhoe has no clue what she's talking about. The 1960 Winter Olympics were very difficult, but over the past decade, California has been receiving record snow. Climate experts like Katharine Hayhoe don't seem to know much about the past, and they certainly don't know anything about the future. But no worries, the New York Times is right on top of this. On January 11, 2018, they reported, of 21 Winter Olympic cities, many may soon be too warm to host the games. And less than a month after that New York Times article was written, the coldest Winter Olympics on record began. As the record cold Winter Olympics began, Greens were very angry. They said, "Winter Olympics threatened by global warming, but NBC won't acknowledge it." This was probably because the NBC news staff was trying to keep from getting frostbite in the record cold. Fears for spectators and competitors as temperatures forecast to plummet to minus 15 degrees Celsius. We've been having record snowfall year after year here in Colorado. Ski seasons are extending into summer and they're starting very early in the fall. Autumn snow extent in the northern hemisphere has been increasing rapidly over the past 50 years to record levels. And winter snow extent has been increasing over the last 50 years too. And what about the southern hemisphere? Last year, Vail Resorts spent huge amounts of money to purchase 2 ski areas in Australia. Obviously, they don't think they're going to run out of snow anytime soon. 6 weeks ago, Australia recorded their coldest summer temperature on record, and they had deep snow in the mountains. The press is so busy trying to create panic about global warming that they're completely oblivious to what's going on around them. It might be rewarding for them once in a while to stop being propagandists and to try to be journalists for a few minutes. A big part of being a legitimate journalist is to seek out different points of view. But it all really doesn't make any difference because according to the top minds in the Democratic Party, the world is going to end in 4,025 days. The world no longer has any need for comedians to do parody because we have politicians in the press to take their place. Visit Toto on the web at realclimatescience.com. He's been pulling back the curtain on junk science and propaganda for a long time.